The fourth issue of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles second crossover came out recently, and overall it's a pretty good comic book. I'd like to review some dialogue between Shredder and the Turtles, and I'm going to go through in a pretty much spoiler-free way to talk about just the one little scene. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my Ninja Turtles channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this. Overall, this comic book was pretty good. There's a lot of wacky stuff going on. Some of it I don't understand. I'm not the biggest Power Rangers fan, so some of the stuff went over my head. And certain parts of the comic were crazy. There were animals mutating and morphing, and the Turtles were mutating into Power Rangers and morphing into Power Rangers. It's a little bit confusing for me, but overall it's fun. The art is good, the story's pretty interesting. This comic book was written by Ryan Parrott and illustrated by Dan Mora. I really like the way they draw Karai. I think she looks cool. She has a nice modern look. She has a cool uniform. She has a cool outfit. And it looks like she has the 2003 foot logo on her chest. And I also like the way they draw Shredder in a bunch of dramatic poses. Shredder looks awesome like this. But the part of this comic book that I like the most is a little bit of dialogue. It really doesn't affect the plot, but it's just a little chit-chat between the Turtles and Shredder, and I think it shows an interesting relationship between them. The Turtles and Shredder are kind of forming an alliance at this point in the comic book. Maybe Shredder will backstab them, maybe not, we don't know. I always like when the Turtles and Shredder form an uneasy alliance, an uneasy partnership. They're not sure if they can rely on each other, but they have to. I always think that's a great dynamic. The Turtles essentially just ask the Shredder point blank why he's trying to take over the world, why he's evil, why he wants to conquer the world. And the Shredder doesn't answer. The Shredder replies with a question. The Shredder says, "Why do you protect the very people who despise you?" The Turtles reply, "Because it's the right thing to do." Shredder says, "Nonsense. You naively believe that if you do, eventually they'll learn to love you." I think this is really insightful from Shredder. He points out that the Turtles protect people, but they still have to hide from these people. They protect the citizens of New York City, but they have to hide in the sewers. The citizens of New York City would probably despise the Turtles if they met them. They'd think they're monsters, they're freaks. But the Turtles still go out of their way to protect them. The Turtles aren't really superheroes, they're more of an anti-hero kind of thing, and Shredder frames that really nicely. Shredder really gets into the motivation of what the Turtles are doing. Why are they protecting these people? And Shredder sees right through it. Shredder calls out the nonsense, and he says they want acceptance from the people of New York City. He says the Turtles are fighting for acceptance. This is one of the most fascinating dynamics of the Ninja Turtles, is that they have to hide from the people they protect. The people they've sworn to protect would think they're freaks, would think they're mutants, because they are. So they use their ninja skills to stay out of the public eye, and they protect people, they fight crime from the shadows. This is an interesting dynamic between the Turtles and Shredder. I like when they focus on the philosophical, the existential angle. What's the everyday life of the Turtles like? How do they feel living in New York City? How does Shredder feel trying to conquer the world? It's interesting to get into that, into their minds, into their motivation. What's their drive? What's in it for them? The Turtles act out of love and Shredder acts out of fear. The Turtles protect, Shredder wants to conquer. It's love and hate. They go hand in hand. It's a yin and yang, and it's really interesting. There's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of history between these two groups, and their tense relationship is portrayed pretty well in issue 4 of 5 of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles second crossover from Boom Studios and IDW Publishing. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and share this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this.